Hello, my name is Anjani Segrist, and today I'm talking about the divine feminine and divine masculine, which is different from female and male. So let me just do a little demonstration here. Old school male, female. So I'm not an electrician. When I was little, my dad taught me a few things about tools, and I always remember this, or with a screwdriver. There was a couple of different ways that plugging things in. So plugging things in is the main picture I have in my mind right now, which we will call this the male and call this the female. So this is not divine masculine and this is not divine feminine. This is male, this is female. So when we take that out, this is basically just a magical little port that if I plug a lamp in, I'm going to get light. If I plug a toaster in, I can make toast. If I plug my stereo in, I can get music, etc., etc. It goes on and on. So this magical little port has a lot of power. And of course, I'm going to plug this back in. Voila, there's light. So that magical little port, which everybody who's in a female body, we have this magical little port that we are sort of like a gatekeeper to the wonders that can be created from entering that magical port. And from, the whole processes that go on in there are deep and mysterious and magical. And women ourselves, we need to fully own that potential of what happens with our body, doing tracking. So taking your temperature every morning, monitoring, there's like, we'll have a spike the day after our ovulation happens. And during that time, that little frame, we can create a baby. What I like to do is, just knowing my cycle, I like to take a day off and focus on creating. I'll make jewelry. I made these necklaces. I'll make programs. I'll make writings. I wrote a piece and submitted it to Gaia and an article that got published. So ways that we can use that cycle to create things, whether it's children, if you're wanting to have a baby, connecting to your own cycle and your own rhythm, you can create a baby, or you can create pieces of work that somehow go out into the world and serve their own purpose and continue life of their own in a way. So the point that I want to mention here at this time is that this is prized. Of course they want to control this. Of course they want to make laws around our reproductive rights. And I know a lot of women who are really angry about this. And of course we're going to be really angry about it. What can we do right now? Get in tune with your own cycle, own your own feminine powers, your own female powers. Let's talk about it like that. So I want to really start to break that up. Break that up, meaning that this is female and this is male. Doesn't have, maybe I'm plugging in music. Is that making the music be masculine? No, not at all. I can be playing Celine Dion or Deva Premal or something like that. So starting to really break that apart. Like, what is the divine feminine and what is the divine masculine? Well, to me, the divine feminine, either one, the masculine or the feminine, what makes it divine is that it fully embraces the other. So if I'm expressing my divine feminine essence, I am fully embracing my own divine masculine essence. So that sacred marriage within. There's a lot of practices that can help us to work on that and to build that. I made a video earlier this week called creating your own, creating personal magnetism. It was kind of a funny video, and I've been thinking about deleting it because I often go off on tangents and start talking about things, and I get, like, oh, but this and that, and I kind of did that in that video, and I actually haven't watched it fully, and I know that there's a lot of crazy things. I talked about testicles and birth, and so I'm not deleting it at the moment just because of the fact that I kind of like just letting things come out, and I don't edit my videos at all. So you can watch that while it's up. I might leave it up, I'm not sure. But and I think I did talk about in there some of the tantric ways, some of the tantric breathing exercises, some ways in the physical world that we can, because it's easy to say, like, I'm embracing my masculine essence, but not really doing it. Like, how do you really do that? And I think I gave some points in there, which the first thing that comes up, I read astrology. It's one of my favorite ways of connecting the feminine to the masculine is through looking through the lens of astrology. But if I don't want to do that, if I'm talking to somebody and it's like, let's integrate the masculine and feminine. You can say merging spirit and matter. Matter, mata, mother, spirit, breath. Some people, and the way I was holding it before was matter being mata, mother, and the spirit being the spark, the fire. We can call that masculine, and having them merge within the body. That's one way, not using astrology, that we can start to engage with feminine and masculine merging within the body. Another thing that I find to be really fun is for a woman to write down all the traits that they are attracted to in a man. So I would say I like tall, dark, and handsome. I like, and what does that mean? I like them to be kind of big. I like them to be dark. Maybe it doesn't have to be dark complected, but it has to be that they have depth, that they have a darkness, a dark quality, mysterious. Their shadow is, they're not hiding from shadow material. That's what I can say for darkness. That doesn't sound so creepy. I'm not interested in goth guys or anything like that, but that their shadow material they're not hiding from their own shadow, and they're not trying to hide their shadow from me. Also that they're into shamanism, they're into spiritualism, they're into nature. These are things that I'm interested in. So when I write all those down, I see those are my qualities. Those are, that I could say is my inner masculine. So when I marry that inside of myself, and of course we have to know who we are as, what's my feminine? What are the feminine things about me? What is my feminine essence? So I'll start to write, describe myself. Let me describe myself. I like bright colors. I think a lot. I like to study. I read a lot. I love being comfortable. I love laying around on the beach. I could lay around on the beach for hours. I really could. And taking hot baths. I could soak in a bath for 2 hours easily, reading a good book. And those really combine. That's me. That's what I like. So when I combine those two qualities together, that to me is one easy way to get the inner feminine and inner masculine. And I like to give a sort of persona in a way. So I know when I'm feeding my inner masculine, I'm doing things that have to do with spirituality, with the empathy and the whole invisible realm. In astrology, my inner masculine is Pisces and Scorpio. So those things that feed that archetype feed my inner masculine. And then for my inner feminine, we look at, on my chart, Taurus and Aquarius. So the intelligence, the brightness, the studying and reading and really being in my physical body like Taurus, that when I am merging those two within myself, this is what I call the inner orgasm, because I'm able to literally breathe with those two parts of my feminine and masculine and plug in back to this thing. In essence, it feels like that, like I'm putting two things together, and energy is just circulating within myself. So there's a lot of tantric exercises, which I'm going to be putting together a program that, I'm putting together the program now. You can find it on my website, because as I'm building it, I'm selling it in little pieces. And there's a little piece right now called Creating Your Own Mythology. What it's building into, the next piece that I'm building is about magnetism and how to have your own inner orgasm, so that you are plugging in your masculine and your feminine on your own, circulating that energy and being completely magnetic and radiant and walking into the world like that. Then you're whole. You are complete. You don't need something to fit or fill you or anything like that. And so when you meet somebody, they're stepping into a space that's already circulating its own energy. And what a wonderful place to step into, of course, who wouldn't want to be around somebody who's energetically completing their own circuit? It feels wonderful to be in the presence of somebody like that. And if we all are doing that, what a wonderful place. So I know I started talking about, I think it sounded kind of like female rights or something. I don't know. I got called a feminazi this week, which was hilarious to me, because I've never considered myself a feminist. And during the week, I asked a lot of my friends, like, what do you think about this? And one of my girlfriends was like, yeah, you're a feminist. And I'm like, really? I'm not a hippie. I'm not a ist. I'm not a conformist. I'm not all the things that people have tried to sort of call me or name me. I don't feel like any of them. I feel like, a woman that is awesome. I don't feel like I'm plugged into any of the isms or anything. So that's my brief video on feminine, masculine, male, female. Let's get it right. Let's, whatever you want to identify as. Say I'm identifying as feminine. I'm identifying as masculine. I identify as divine feminine, divine masculine. I feel like I'm circulating that energy within myself, and I am a female. I know that for sure. And I love people who are, I love everybody. I feel like there's something in every interaction. Even the guy who called me a feminazi, I really loved that. It was really cool to see somebody speaking from, and I'll post a link for that video. It was Donald Trump's astrology reading. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Got lots of cool things that I'm cooking up and going to be delivering here on YouTube. So thanks again, and can't wait to connect with you.